I feel like society has been lying to us about our 20s. When you're in your 20s, when you're in your, let's say, before you get into your 20s, like in the advertisements or, in the society or social media, the whole society tries to portray this vision of the 20s like the stage of your life when you're in love, experiencing love, you're traveling, you're drinking, you're going out, you're experiencing a lot of stuff, you're having the best time in your life. But honey, the 20s are not it. That's the way to romanticize the 20s, because I don't think a lot of us, that's how we actually experience our 20s. And mind you, I'm in my 20s, and the reality is not it. The reality is not what society portrays it to be. Because guess what? When you're in your 20s, unless you have rich parents who are taking care of everything, when you are in your 20s, you are at that stage where you are an adult, but you're not actually accomplished yet. So you're trying to find your voice, you're trying to find, who you are, you're trying to understand, like, what are you gonna do with your life? Most of the time, you are broke. You are broke 24/7, especially when you're a student with student loans and all that, and you have to do multiple jobs to pay your rent. A lot of these students don't got money. Like, they be struggling, but that's not what's portrayed, right? Let's talk about that. The struggle of being a student, because I feel like people don't talk about that enough. And most importantly, let's talk about you trying to find your purpose. It is so complicated to find your purpose, to understand what you're gonna do. What are you gonna do with your future? You're actually trying to figure out what you like. It's like when you're in your 20s, you're so lost. It's not just about the partying, the drinking, the living your best life. It's not just about that. And I feel like we don't talk about that enough. So if you feel lost and if you feel like you're trying to find your voice and your purpose, honey, you are not alone. We're all in this together. Because I can tell you, the person I was 5 years ago is not the person I am right now, and I'm still in my 20s. The person I was last year is not the person that I am right now. Even the person that I was last month, right? So you keep evolving, you keep changing, and it's okay to be lost. And when you're like 20 or 21, when you're just at that stage of being an adult, you feel like everybody else got it and you don't got it. Have you ever felt like that? Like everybody else got it except for me. And if you feel like that, I'm here to tell you that it's okay. Nobody got it. Everybody, like, especially with this social media, everybody is trying so hard to show you that they got it when it is so far from that. Just because some people like Kylie Jenner or some other, people got to be billionaires in their 20s, doesn't mean that you gotta be a billionaire or a millionaire in your 20s too. Everybody's life path is different. So stop comparing yourself to others. And I feel like the pressure is even, more intense on us women, because I remember, like, when I was 18, nobody was asking me if I had a boyfriend or if I was in a relationship or anything like that. But now, like, people feel free to ask me if I got a boyfriend, or if I'm in, if I'm planning to get married soon, or if I'm thinking about having kids. Those are the type of discussions that I'm having more and more in life right now. Mind you, I'm 26, and people are like, wow, you're 26 and you're not married? I'm like, nah, because that's not what I want right now. And it's like, why don't you want to get married? Why don't you want to have kids? Like, people have kids at 22, 23, and you're 26 and you don't even have kids. Like, is there anything wrong with you? Or like, what's your focus in life? What's your purpose other than having kids? And I'm like, don't even know what to say. Like, as a woman, can I actually want something else for me right now other than wanting to have kids? Like, is that okay? I'm not saying I don't want kids ever. That's not what I'm saying. But can I be focused on something else other than those kids? Like, I feel like I feel like people got their hands and their legs on my neck. Like, can y'all just get off my neck? Oh my god, the pressure is so real. And I feel like as people who are in our 20s, we should try and focus on what we actually have rather than focusing on what we lack. We keep thinking about everything that we do not have. But we are actually so blessed. Sometimes we're just, surrounded by blessings, but we just don't see them because of this pressure, the pressure of this society. We're so focused so much on the things that we lack. Why is it like that? We should be focusing on the things that we have accomplished and stay grateful, And I know it's not easy because, like I said, people like to remind you that you haven't accomplished this, and that. And can we talk about the elephant in the room? When I talk about the elephant, I'm talking about the drugs and alcohol. Can we talk about them? Because they're so cool. They are so cool. Drugs are so cool. Alcohol is so cool. And mind you, I'm saying it. I like myself a few cocktails here and there. I like myself some fine wine. But the problem is, in our 20s, we are so brainwashed to think that if you're not taking any type of drugs, you're not cool. Like, if you're not partying, you're not cool. But honey, you are cool until you're an addict. You are cool until you are a drug addict. And once you're an addict, your personal finances are going to suffer. Remember how I said, when you're young, when you're in your 20s and you're a student, you are so broke. Now imagine when you are so broke and you're an addict. Like, imagine what your personal finances look like. Because you're so dependent. Because it started out from you wanting to be cool. And now you're an addict. And it's okay because you're in your 20s. You can try stuff out. Like, don't die we only live once. Like, you should try this. You should try that. Because we only live once. Like, try it for a while. Try it for a little bit. It's okay. It's not that bad. Like, can we speak? And it's like, those people who tell you to try the drugs when you've never touched any drugs? Those people who tell you, try it, it's okay, da-da-da-da. When you're an addict, they're not there for you. They're not going to have you get clean. They're going to keep, putting you in the same situation. They're not there for you when you're an addict and your life actually depends on the drugs. No, they're not. So if you're actually an addict, I really hope you're going to seek for help. You could be a drug addict or an alcoholic. Either way, I hope you can go ahead and seek for help and try to get out of it. Because as soon as your body is cleansed, as soon as you get out of it, you will see your life will be brighter. Your life is gonna be way better. And I don't understand who tells young people that they're not going to enjoy their life if they're not taking substances. If you don't do substance abuse, you're not gonna be living your best life. That's a lie. That is a lie. Because whether you drink a glass of wine every now and then, or whether you don't drink it, it doesn't change much. I could go a week without drinking a glass of wine and I am good. It's not that deep, but I understand, I get it that, when you're an addict, it's totally different. It's completely different. And that's why I encourage, and if anybody is watching this video right now and you are an alcoholic or a drug addict, just seek for help. please, let this video be the reason you're going to get up and get your life together, because they have been lying to you. You've been lied to. And whatever you're trying to accomplish in life, if you're really passionate about something, go for it. Even though you're scared, I feel like the first step is the hardest step. Once you've made the first step, you're good to go. That applies to anything in life. Be fearless and do it. The first step on going to rehab is the hardest step. The first step is the one that's so difficult. If you have a project, or if you want to, build a business, starting can be so difficult. It can be so, so scary, because you may be overthinking everything. You may be like, what if I fail? What if this and that? But honey, go for it. The harder the path, the better the results. Have you noticed this? Whenever you get something so easily, you don't value that thing. But when you've struggled to get where you are, you actually value things a lot more. I feel like you have, like, what you've accomplished has more value if you've struggled. And like I said before, you don't have to accomplish everything in your 20s. You got your 30s, you got your 40s, you got your 50s, and so on. Like, I have this colleague of mine, she's in her 50s, and she was explaining to me how her 20s were so difficult because she had kids when she was so young, and she would juggle between her job and her kids, her personal life and her career. It was complicated to juggle both, especially when she was, trying to study as well. She was still at uni while working and having kids. So juggling both, or trying to juggle, it was not both. No, because she had school, she had her family, her kids, husband and all that, and she had her career, and it was so complicated. And she was explaining to me that period of her life was so difficult, but she fought so hard. But she couldn't say that her 20s were the best. It was not her best because she had so much responsibility, And now that she's in her 50s and her kids are all grown and they're doing good in life, and she has the career that she's been fighting for, the career that she's always wanted. Now she feels fulfilled and she's living her best life with her husband. Now she's enjoying life, actually. So if you're not enjoying your life in your 20s, don't worry. If you don't have your kids before 30, do not worry. And like I said, especially for us women, it's like you gotta have your kids, you gotta be married and have your kids before 30, right? Like, who said that? Who said that? Who did? In Portia's voice, who said that? Who did? Who said it was a crime to have your kids after your 30s? Who said that? Whoever said that, they were lying. Because it's okay for you to have your kids in your 30s or your 40s. Who cares? You can have your kids whenever you want to have your kids. And that's on period. Don't let this society put so much pressure on you. Okay? Just keep doing you and fuck the rest. Like, who cares about all that? Try to live your best life and trying to do whatever you want. Whether it's in your 20s or your 30s or your 40s, nobody cares. Don't let this society put pressure on you for not accomplishing this and that. Because like I said, everybody's path is totally different. And I feel like in this society, everything has been so romanticized. Everything has been, we've been lied to. You have been lied to and I've been lied to. Anyways, thank you so much for watching today's video. My name is Solange and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.